commentary. I watch clips all the time.
I have people on all the time, but it's just talking.
You try to open minds all the time.
I try to
open minds a different way.
I'm honestly not trying to open minds. I'm being curious and I'm asking questions and I'm trying to learn as much myself. And then once I do learn about things, I would like to have that person come on to teach other people about it because I think it's interesting.
Well, here's the big enchilada for folks. If you want, I can lay this out.
Enchilada.
And I'd like to make a documentary down the road and actually break this down. But there is a whole breakaway civilization. And listen, I don't get into UFOs. Get ready. I don't ever talk about this.
For real? Breakaway civilization?
Are you ready?
Hold on.
Joe, how many things did I tell you over the years?
Too many that came true.
There was a couple that you got wrong. You can't get them all right. Like the Y2K people knock you all the time.
They take that out of context. My listeners...
Explain that. Explain the Y2K. But it's okay. A conspiracy theory is just not trusting criminals. Every now and then you can't pin that murder to the criminal, but he's still a criminal, even though you're wrong.
Well, one of the things I'm actually embarrassed about is the Y2K.
Oh, it's okay.
Hey, listen, you're not a computer expert, neither am I. I didn't go anywhere that night. I stayed fucking home, and I was waiting for that goddamn power to go out.
Sure,
yeah,
I didn't post the
either.
big news in a minute, but since
2012, I didn't know. I thought, damn, the Mayans knew.
Dude, we thought it was over.
See, I didn't think that.
Eddie Bravo and I were convinced.
Well,
you had 2012 license plate, man.
I had a December 2012 license plate. I did.
Oh, is this tobacco?
Yes, very strong tobacco from Mexico.
I guess I am in California. This is for medical reasons?
100% medical reasons and legal. Yeah, man, there's a lot of things that people think are going to happen that turn out to not happen. There's always a goddamn asteroid that's going to kill us all that doesn't actually hit.
I didn't inhale just now.
Good for you. It's important to not inhale.
Tell us the news, Alex.
So what is going on? Aliens are coming?
Well, let me answer.
Nibiru?
Before I do this, let me answer his question because he had a Reagan question too. Yeah. Well, let me answer Y2K because I want to be honest about this.
Okay.
This is one of the few things that I have really gotten wrong, and I didn't go with my gut, and so I was proven wrong, and I did it for the wrong reason. So now I'm going to actually confess here on air. I was on one radio station. I've been on Access TV for a few years. I was on one radio station. I already started a show out of my house that was on like 15 radio stations. So I had that at least. But I was on one big radio station, had the top show at night on a station with Howard Stern. It was killer. It was all over the newspaper, had huge ratings. And I was bringing in like, 20, 30 grand a month, which was just a huge amount for me, building a whole operation out of that at home. And they come to the sales guys and they go, look, for a year, you've not been behind Y2K. And you're not letting us have all these big sponsors, and you're going to basically be fired if you don't let us endorse these sponsors and have them on air and say you believe in Y2K.
Hold on a second. So these sponsors were like doomsday stuff, like canned food and shit, and
bunkers and everything else. So I already believe in food.
So they
got to
push Y2K.
But let me tell you what happened.
Y2K means.
But the station wants to make all this money. Okay?
So the station made you push Y2K. Wow.
Well, but let me go further. This is one of the few times in my life that I don't want to say I didn't have integrity. I kind of let them convince me. But I think back to the point in the conference room, I just kind of went, okay, sure, I get it. And then I went, and then once I decided it was true, I really pushed it. So it's almost like I lied to myself, because I'm being honest about this process.
Right.
So this is what happened. For like a year and a half, I'm saying it's BS, it's a government hoax, because they're like, the Navy says the chips are all bad and 54 cities will completely fall and it's all the death. And I said, they just want to upgrade with all this new spy hubs. They want a new global standardization for the U.S. It's the Telecommunications Act of 96. They want to force all the new chips, because I had NSA sources then that I was having on, okay? And I didn't realize how special it was that I had these sources. They're telling me it's all BS. And people are like, don't argue with the Navy. And Fox News had ads to get your food. It was just everywhere. So I went, okay, stuff's going to be real.
So it was like a Black Friday for doomsday.
It was like a Black
people.
Friday deal. So the last few months, and the moral was they ended up firing me anyways.
They did?
But the moral was I kind of convinced myself it was real. So by the end of it, and of course they edit like 12 hours beyond that day into like 5 minutes. It sounds totally insane.
Right.
But it's like nuclear reactor having a problem here, and it really was happening. And like, and there was a missile fired from Russia, which like was an ICBM and then got like shot down. That was ABC News. So I'm like, all right, this isn't really happening. Okay, we got prepared. It's always going to be prepared, but hopefully, the reactor's having a problem. Okay, some stuff. So there was some outages and some problems. But government and MSM had hyped it. Then they used it to demonize alternative media even then when it wasn't catastrophic. So my gut told me it was BS. It was BS. And so thank God I missed the whole 2012 thing, but still they said, Alex Jones says the world's ending, Nibiru 2012, where if you really search what I say, it's all a load of crap. But I didn't criticize you when I saw you doing it. I said,
I was balls deep in
I
Nibiru.
said, I hope he's wrong.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Well,
it wasn't just the radio
Nibiru.
station. It wasn't the radio station. It was the listeners. They were pissed at me that I wouldn't go into this thing.
Well, it's fun for them. See, when you start talking about the end of the world or doomsday coming, people like that shit because it gives them something to think about.
But
because
here's
there's
the
a
thing.
lot of people.
I'm talking
Alex
about a real
Jones,
future. I believe in humanity.
I know.
I'm not doomsday.
Listen, it was a long time ago. It was 17 years ago, right?
wrong.
Y2K?
Yeah.
17 fucking years ago.
But at least
And-
2012 didn't get you, so
Right.
you redeemed yourself.
Yeah, you came
'Cause it
back
got
strong.
me. I
It's
wrote
okay, I
songs
get
about
it.
Look,
2012.
17. Think about 17 years ago. That's a long time ago. I mean, and you getting fired from that job. Every great radio guy's gotten fired.
Yeah.
Howard Stern got fired. You got fired. Like Bubba the Love Sponge.
It was just
fired.
like Howard
Everybody's
Stern.
been fired.
I had top ratings, and they were all pissed and weird about it. The weird thing is they didn't mess with the losers. They were all flipping out because I was getting the big paychecks.
Well, it makes sense. It
Just
all
like
makes
Howard.
sense.
It was the same
yeah.
thing.
And the Y2K thing totally makes sense. That they would want you to really push that and sell it hard because who the fuck knows? You know, we don't know. You get scared. You're like, what
Well,
if they're
exactly.
hiding this from
Alex,
us?
the Navy says it's going to happen. Washington Post. Now, your listeners are real, and it was the one time I went, oh, okay, maybe I'll go do it.
I had people on that were telling me there was something that was going to happen on 2012. They were sure of it.
Yeah.
So they bullied you into
I
it,
had
too.
people.
I
No,
believe
it's
it.
not a bullied thing.
Well,
It
you
was
just hear
fun.
everybody doing it, you start
It's-
like stampeding like lemmings.
I'm
There's
telling
a lot
you,
of
there's a
double
psychological
crossing going on, just massive double crossing. Because I really used to be into UFOs, but the more you look into UFOs, it looks like, and that's another conspiracy
Well, I actually
theory
have
on its own.
NASA
It looks
sources.
like the government
Listen, I
used
had a guy that was
UFOs
going
as
to
a
give me the
distraction.
full NASA deal, and when he came to the meeting, he couldn't do it. I knew this guy well. And then the next time he was going to meet with me, his heart blew up.
It blew up
Yeah,
like a bomb in his
no,
heart.
Like they said, his heart like completely ruptured.
Well,
The point is, his name was Raymond Teague, and if you look at Mission Control, he was the main guy on Mission Control that controlled the cameras and everything. Mm-hmm. And I've been to his house. He had national security letters from the president. He'd run like secret operations in Cambodia and Laos. He was an Air Force engineer. And he knew the whole deal, and he would say,
knew what whole
He
deal?
would say,
What
I
was
need
the
to
deal?
meet with you and tell you everything. And he would come and start gulping, and he couldn't get it out.
Couldn't get what out?
He said he was so threatened or whatever, he couldn't tell me
About, you think about
about
he
NASA.
probably left and he was
NASA?
laughing. He was in the car.
No. Raymond wasn't.
He thinks I was having a
No,
heart
he did
attack.
tell me a lot of
This
it. He
crazy
said,
motherfucker.
He said, Alex, your sources are right. There were advanced technologies. We were worried the astronauts might die. They had two teams in orbit, one with the real ships. This is not a joke, Joe.
Wait a minute.
They had
The
one
real
with the
ships that had
advanced ships.
UFOs in orbit and they were communicating
You
with them?
think Kennedy and the government and everybody and Nixon are going to have this giant thing about America's #1 and not have a backup plan if the astronauts die?
Put those headphones back on. You lost your fucking mind. This weed has got
Hey,
you
you
into
know
a
what?
corner. Hold on. Let him finish there. So
Okay.
tell me what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say that so the United States government...
Raymond Teague was going to give me the secret of NASA.
Okay.
And then he couldn't ever get it out. He
But
would
you
get
don't know
part
what
of
it
it
is,
out.
though. You don't know
Right.
what it is. He
No,
never gave
they
it
had
to
a
you.
second program.
They had a second program.
But how do you
meaning the-
know? He
And
died.
he told me.
But before the heart attack?
In the middle of the heart attack.
Out of a second program. No.
I met with him at the old SAC command base.
What did he actually tell you? Word for word. Or not what
He told me, he said from your analysis, your sources, you're dead on. I was in control of the video and radio communications. He was if you go to TVs, it's him on TV. I mean, he's running it.
That's very important, the guy controlling the camera.
No, he was on Mission Control 1.
Pretty huge.
They had two backups behind that.
Are you kidding? Of course. The moon landings, are you kidding? Come on.
Well, you raised it. You
Come
wanted to
on.
know.
Oh, come on. That's ridiculous.
No, but
that's
here's the
why I
deal.
don't trust the government. That's why I don't trust anything
Because
from
they
NASA.
ran a fake op. They didn't want to spend money. They ran a fake op with just re-entry devices and basic stuff in space and did shoot some of it. But then they had a real mission that put the reflectors and everything on the moon. We went to the moon, bro.
There's no proof of that real.
So you believe?
I don't know about that.
Well, you know that the Russian government with
Do you know how many
Lunkahood-
people died in the secret space program?
Alex, you know that
A lot.
the Russian government put those laser reflectors on the moon as well with unmanned probes.
Yes.
You know that, right?
And there's dead
So, like,
Chinese. The Chinese have been to the
Yeah.
moon a bunch.
So that's
Yeah.
not like the
They just
best.
can't make it.
Nobody
there's, there's weird evidence.
Nobody went. The damn thing's not even that far away. Look
Are
at all
you
this-
kidding? Are you kidding?
So, Alex, you think they definitely went to the moon? That just the footage is fake? Is that what you think?
Yeah, you can't bring film back to the Van Allen radiation belt. You get spots all over it.
Right, but if we don't have film, what would lead us to believe that they definitely did it?
Because they had RCA cameras.
Well,
How
there
come
was
they trashed all the telemetry
there's some amazing
data?
footage, right? There's amazing footage
Because
of
they
them circling
put
the
a
moon.
fake launch in space in case the real mission died.
So who's in the fake
And they're not
launch?
going to show you the real
Who's
crap
in the
they got.
real? What happened? Is there
The
any
U.S.
evidence
military
of the real?
is
Is there
50
any real
years
footage?
in advance.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay.
let him answer this, Eddie. So
it's half
we
fake.
got to figure this out. So what you're saying is the one that we saw on TV with Neil Armstrong, one small step for man, that's all horseshit. But the real one actually took place. They just couldn't get the film back.
But Armstrong had been on real missions.
So yes, he definitely been on real missions. But
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me all of it. He died before we met.
The other dude.
I was
not
meeting him the
Armstrong.
next day, and his wife called. My dad was friends with him and
Neil
said
Armstrong?
Raymond's dead.
No. The other guy. What's his name again?
Okay, Buzz Aldrin. I do know Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
Buzz Aldrin said, I want to come on your show. And I'm not going to get into all the heat. I know he lives here in L.A., and one time I ran into him, but let's leave it at that. And he said, I want to come on your show. And I said, all right, well, come on. And it's the only interview he said it. And he goes, I'm going to tell you, Alex, and your audience alone. He said, there is an obelisk, just like 2001. It's on the moon of Mars, the sole moon, and it's sending a transmission. And it's all real, and it's all Egypt, and there's aliens and everything else. And it's the only time he ever said it.
What?
Yeah.
Who
Is
said
there
that?
is there a clip of that?
Yeah,
Buzz
pull it
Aldrin.
up. Pull up Buzz Aldrin.
Pull that
There's a
up
clip of that?
immediately.
Dude, it was on like ABC
Immediately.
Nightly News the next day.
So
Let
Buzz
me
Al-
see that
Do you
shit.
think he was
That was
fucking with you?
ridiculous.
Do you think he's fucking with you?
No, he was real.
Seems a
I
feisty
can't,
fella.
I can't
think
tell you
he's
the whole
lying.
story.
I think he's full of shit.
Why do you think he's full of shit? What if it's
think
true?
that-
Can you imagine if there is an obelisk on Mars?
I think
And
that's
it
just
really
to
is
get
communicating
people-
with
There's
us?
an obelisk on the moon of Mars.
The moon of Mars. Phobos? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
he said we got to land there.
Dude, have you seen his Instagram, Buzz
No.
Aldrin?
No, is it good? A lot of bitches?
It's amazing.
A lot of boats?
You got to follow him.
Boaches and bitches
Dude,
and
he's
boats?
he's just like.
Don't you love
he's
when
just
they-
like he's just.
Okay, hold on a
loving it.
second. Let's give
Buzz
let's give
Aldrin's
some
loving Instagram.
let's give some
people with their habitation. We can keep track. If there's something very important to be developed from the moon, I'm not sure what it is right now.
Of course you
But
don't.
I sure think you
Bullshit.
should identify
Oh, hit pause.
what
That's
it
it.
is. For
Eddie,
on,
you
hold
want the
on.
truth? I'll give
No,
you the
no,
truth.
no. I want to hear what he says.
You wanna hear about Buzz
Alex,
Aldrin?
I want to hear, but I want to
Yes.
hear what he says first. Let's hear what he says. Yes.
Go ahead.
Hold it. Go ahead, Jamie.
America to make such gross expenditures again for human habitation on the moon. We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon.
And steal tax
should
money. We
go
could do it
boldly
together.
Oh,
where
bullshit.
man has not gone before.
Is this where he talks about the
Fly by the
obelisk?
comet,
No, it's on my
visit
show. This is
asteroids,
C-SPAN.
visit the
Yeah,
moon
we need to
of
go
Mars.
to.
There's
Oh,
a monolith there, a very unusual structure on
Zach
this
was on with me.
little potato-shaped object.
We need $4 billion
that goes
to
around
go
Mars
get it.
Once
Listen.
in 7 hours. When people
Eddie, you're so
find out
funny.
about that, they're
When you look into it,
You gotta look at.